Yo, what's up? Back with another video. In this one, we follow Renaldo Gouws, who has done a video about his longtime rival, Mighty Jamie. Old name, the next Barack. So these are the guys that 5 years ago I was interacting with, as I was an EFF member, as I was a member of Black Twitter, and we're constantly going back and forth, debating the other side. The other side was Renaldo Gouws, and Mighty Jamie was one of the people who kind of have the facts, because I think he was at Wits at that time, and I saw his graduation. He had graduation photos on Twitter, and so we were a whole gang against another gang. So now it's been a number of years, we've grown, and now your issue has not rested. And so Renaldo is now doing a video, and it's titled, "Is Mighty Jamie incompetent, ignorant, or paid propaganda?" And before we get to watching that video, Renaldo has commented on my video, the one I did about him and Gritama, and he said, "You call me a deplorable for what exactly? Using a hyperbole to speak out against racism? Please tell me how I can be put in the same category as someone that is asking for the killing of people. Please do some research on me before you want to talk about me and what I stand for. I've always fought against racism. My body of work speaks a lot more than the 15-second video clip that was snipped and edited by IOL to drive a narrative. Have you even watched the full 6-minute video, or are you solely judging me based on the 15-second video clip?" Well, Renaldo, as you hear me, I am not new to you. I'm knowing you from some time back, and I've realized the kind of guy that you are. You are the white guy, liberal, pushing liberal agenda. You are the church bishop of a liberal church, that is your YouTube channel over there. And we now meet again. Our paths cross again. So I'll be doing more videos about you. Just want to tell you, no malice, we love you, man, and hope you agree to go to DJ Sbu there, to go and play your 6-minute long clip on the Hustler's Corner and explain to people, when you say using a hyperbole to speak out against racism, what exactly do you mean? Go and explain it so that the average black person can understand. When a white man is on a video saying, "Kill the nigger, kill the kafir," what exactly does he mean he's speaking against racism? Because some of us don't really know what a hyperbole is, sir. So here's your video. Let the beef between the white YouTuber and the black YouTuber begin.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Ronaldo here. So this video is going to focus on minions of the ANC, EFF and MK that helps them spread misinformation. Now whether they get paid for this or not, that is up for debate, but there's definitely something fishy. Now the person that I want to talk about today is somebody called Jamie Mighty. Now some of you might know him through his political commentary on mainstream media outlets. We know that he doesn't know the first thing about politics in this country or elections, but often he is used in these interviews because of his wealth of knowledge. Yet, if you look at the past 2 elections and his predictions for the elections, he was at least 6 to 10 percentage points out just on the top 4 political parties. You know how dumb you need to be to not even get within 10 percentage points of the election results that you predicted. Now, this has happened on 2 previous occasions, and yet mainstream media still speaks to him as if he knows what he's talking about.
On 2 previous occasions, like 2 previous elections, have you known him for that long? Like the general election and local election and another general election. You've been knowing him for a long time, ne?
And this is all like part of the gift of the gab. You know, he speaks well, and he wears a lab coat when he makes videos to make him seem more intelligent than what he really is. Now, he also made a video on me during the DA disciplinary hearing. You will remember that I was sitting at the airport minding my own business, and suddenly I'm accosted by this person and then asking me all these questions. And he knew that I couldn't answer them because it was part of a closed disciplinary process. And then the questions that he asked me had everything to do with that.
So I've seen Renaldo at the airport. I'm just going to ask him what he thinks about his comments and if he's going to take remedial actions to do some equity training, some social justice training. Let's see what he says.
I think that's your biggest
How are you? What are you? I'm okay. So, I mean, funny bumping into you here, but I thought because you haven't had any interviews or conversations, I want to have one. Just one comment. Do you regret using the N-word? Got nothing to say to you. Do you regret using the K-word? You regret not reporting accurately on the... No, let's have a conversation now. No, nothing. Do you think that you stop reporting me was justified or unjustified? Nothing to say here. Let's get a bit closer. Got nothing to say. So, what about where's your people? Where's your white jacket? No, it's a whole. No, where's your? Why aren't you wearing it now? No, for this traveling. But I saw you. No, but where's your? I thought jackets are important to wear. No, the youth of the N-word, wearing the jacket to act as the youth of the N-word and the P-word, something like that. No, and that is currently. What did IOL? How far is your process? What did IOL come out? No, I don't know. Anyway, do you know about IOL? But I'm talking to you. No, but I'm asking you. No, I'm not affiliated with IOL. No, but did you see the outcome by the press ombudsman? The outcome which said that you didn't use the word. But did I have to apologize? Do you use the word? Also, and how do you feel? How do you feel about using that word in 2010? It's therapy. I didn't use the word in 2010. Do you think it's justified? Back in the situation, you see that clearly about this. Then ask you a question. Do you think that what Clement Manyakela said is fair to say that you need to do something to show remorse or that you understand why people were angry or hurt? So I've got absolutely nothing to say because everything is there. The apology from 2013, 2016 that you... I'm saying now, you remember Parliament now. So people want to have that. Some people didn't even know you did that. But people want to have it from... Why did you not? Well, I bumped into you now. No, so I'm reaching out to you. It's all good. Listen, I do not appreciate being recorded while I'm here. But what I well, thank you, ma'am. Can you please what's yeah. See, so once again, Mighty Jamie is doing exactly what he does. So can you tell us right now? Can you please? Are you going to take some social justice lessons? Can you please try to understand why people are so offended by you using the N-word and the K-word? I'm asking you to please stop reporting me. Face me. So I tried to ask Ronaldo in person if he regrets using the words that he used, if he's going to take any social justice training, racial sensitivity training, just to try to understand why people were offended by his use of the N-word and the K-word and some of the other things that he said, because it wasn't just that. You make a decision on whether you think he responded fairly or not. Any last comment? Thank you, Jamie. I'll see you in court. For what? Yeah. See you there. Thanks so much, brother. Special place in help you, brother. So here are some reflections that I have after the moment that I just had with Renaldo Gouws, who is the gentleman who built a career in the right-wing media community of saying offensive things, saying racist things, and who was called out for using the N-word, the K-word, and a variety of other things that he did. He said homophobic things as well. He was called out for that, and that all happened around about the time when he became a member of parliament for the Democratic Alliance. So I saw him at the airport, and I was like, let me actually go speak to this guy. I actually asked a gentleman to hold the phone for me. I said, how radical are you? And the guy was like, what do you mean? I think he thought I wanted $1. You know that guy on TikTok, you got $1? You got $1? So I think he thought I was going to do like ask him for $1 or tell him about my child or something who's sick in the hospital and I need 100 rands or 50 rands or whatever. So I explained what I wanted to do. And the first guy was like, nah, I don't want to do it. But the second guy, he said, nah, sure, give me the phone. Let's go do this thing. Let's go be radical. And I appreciate him for doing that. So the reason why in the moment I thought to myself, let me speak to this guy and ask him some questions. Number one is because he has not done any media interviews. You know, there are so many platforms where he could do a media interview. For instance, he could do a media interview with Tembegile Mrototo. He could do a media interview with Clement Manyatela. He could do a media interview with Sakina Kamwendo. He could do a media interview now. Tula Sizwe Simelane is back. Thabo Shole Mashao is working on radio. Aldrin Sampier, Kathy Mushahlana. There are so many people, Faith Mangope, who could have a conversation with him about why his comments were received in the way that they were, number one. Number two, why he told a lie that the comments that then emerged later were artificial intelligence manipulations. I think that's important. But also, I think there's something that he does need to have a conversation with everyone about, because he's a member of parliament. He's a public representative, meaning he represents everyone. He doesn't just represent the right wing. He also represents the poor children in the townships of Soweto, in the townships of Umlazi, and in the rural parts of Mpangeni. He represents the hopes and aspirations of someone in Thohoyandou, in as much as he represents the hopes and aspirations of someone who's living in Sea Point or Hout Bay, or in the depths of Stellenbosch. I don't know neighborhoods in Stellenbosch, but I assume there are people there who view him as being upholding their hopes and aspirations. So I think he should have done an interview, is the first point that I'm making. The second point that I want to make is I think that the Democratic Alliance has not done a genuine disciplinary process, because I don't think that they spoke to witnesses. I don't think that they asked anybody to submit complaints or statements about why they would want to lodge this complaint. They didn't share the nature of the charges against him. And they even made this announcement about the disciplinary action because they felt that this thing was going to, mess up their coalition negotiation moment. And because they didn't want that as a distraction, they then said, okay, just say we are disciplining this guy. But then he has been working, he's been in parliament, etc., etc. And I feel that questions still need to be asked, even about that disciplinary process. You know what? Someone can be guilty or innocent, etc. But what makes the disciplinary process or any process genuine is actually letting the public know, keeping the public informed, and, being transparent about everything. When you go to courts and when you go to trial, criminal trial, the reason why the trials are open and anyone can go to a court is because the law must be done and also seen to be done as a legal principle that exists out there. So I'm not sure that the DA process as it stands is one that is a bona fide process. That's number two. Number three, why I thought, let me speak to him, is because sometimes we submit to racism, discrimination, all manner of abuse. We submit to being demeaned as Black people, undermined, undercut as Black people by failing to push back in the way that, the mothers did in the 60s. You know that song, "Oh mama bethu baboshiwe izingane sele zodwa. Oh mama bethu baboshiwe bazobuya sibalindile noma bengenama." Omama left their children to fight for a more important ideal. They knew the risk going in. They knew that they could get arrested going in. But they stood up, and we watch these movies, these historical movies. We
we watch them and we read the books, and we often think, yeah, if I had been there, I would have done it. I would have done something. And of course, we cannot be there. We are here. We are in this particular moment. We're not in 76. We're not at Sharpeville. We're not in various moments of history that were significant. But this is a moment in history in and of itself. This moment, this day that you are living through is a day in history. History is unfolding all around the world. China is meeting African leaders, and they are there smiling and clapping hands for the Chinese government that is giving us more debt, giving us more products, and we don't get as much return on the investment of that solidarity. History is happening today. There's history happening in Gaza, in Israel. There's history happening in America. There's history happening in the DRC. History continues to happen. So when you bump into a moment or an opportunity, there's always that question, so what are you going to do about it? Sankara's watching. What are you going to do about it? Lumumba's watching. What are you going to do about it? Biko's watching. What are you going to do about it? Or are you going to waste the opportunities where you have a moment to speak up and articulate the pain of everyone who doesn't have that moment? Are you going to say something, or are you going to say nothing? So anyway, I chose to ask him those questions. I think I was respectful. You heard his answers. I don't know what you think. I want to close off by saying this one thing. I believe everyone deserves a second chance, up to a 10th chance, maybe even a 77th chance. Why do I believe that? Because number one, we all make mistakes. Number one, we all grow. We all learn, unlearn, relearn. So I believe that people can make mistakes, bad mistakes, and still become better people. Malcolm X, when he started his career, was one of the worst people ever. Not his career, I'm just saying career, but I meant his criminal career. He was a criminal hoodlum in America, but he became one of the most significant thought leaders in Black America. Malcolm Little was not a nice guy. Malcolm X was a better guy. But when he finally reached the end of his life, his enlightenment, his humanity, he started off speaking about race in ways that were very, very, very jarring, provocative. But towards the end, he actually accepted all races and called for peace, tolerance, acceptance. So I believe that people should get multiple chances. I do. And that even applies to people who hate me, hate the way that I look, think that because I look the way that I look, I cannot be a liberal, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. So at a personal level, just as a human, I accept that people make mistakes and people can change. At an even higher level than just my personal level, because whatever, that's my worldview. I'm a Christian, and my teacher taught me that you need to forgive 77 times 7 times. I think that's what he said. You've got to forgive, and you got to keep forgiving. That's what my teacher said. And I believe in that, and I accept that. So part of forgiveness, of the process of forgiveness, sorry, I'm just gathering my thoughts, is the person has to apologize. They have to make peace with the people that they've offended. And I think that's what Clement Manyatela was asking when he said that, has he gone to some sensitivity training? Has he tried to understand the issues that made people feel the way that they feel? As a leader, somebody who now occupies that position, representing the aspirations of the child in Umlazi as much as he represents the aspirations of the child in Stellenbosch. I think there needs to be some kind of a process. And when you speak to people, you're trying to actually get an assessment of state of mind, state of readiness. Is he going to be open to having these conversations? So maybe he will be in future. Maybe he will be. What do you think? Let's have a conversation.
Knowing that I'm not allowed to answer. So
Hey, Mighty Jamie, you're a naughty boy, man. You ambushed this dude for real. He said it was a closed session and you couldn't answer any questions. So, you went after him. Let's keep listening. Ronaldo, 1 point to you. Sorry to you, man. We enjoyed that video. Sorry for enjoying it. It was a sneaky, cowardly ambush. Also, it seems. Mighty Jamie, would like to hear from you.
This is the type of person that we're also dealing with. A person that is willing to put ethics aside and to hope that people won't see what is actually going on. So the reason I'm talking about him is because there's obviously now been a lot of information shared by the United States, by the President Donald Trump, and then of course by political commentators from the United States, and then also Ernst Roots, Solidariteit, AfriForum. The most, I would say, most prominent one is Ernst Roots' interview with Tucker Carlson. Brilliant interview, factually based. Obviously nothing that I think that somebody can on a technical aspect debate or say that he is not telling the truth on. You can just open a history book and you'll find that what he is saying is true. So Jamie Mighty has come out and said that Ernst Roots is lying, particularly because of one thing that Ernst Roots said. But before I show how dishonest Mighty Jamie is, I just want you to have a look. So this is his channel. It says key analysis, relevant commentary, Mighty Jamie TV. Now, if you just look, you can always see that he's wearing.
Hey, Mighty, there's your channel, man.
He's
Ronaldo's
always wearing. He's
you.
got a background of a lab and then a lab coat. I mean, tell me how unashamedly you are using scientific backgrounds to make yourself look more intelligent. I mean, this is the height of insecurity. Look at it. And it looks like it's always the same color t-shirt with the same color tie, and then the lab.
Isn't he being creative, dog? Isn't he being creative? Man, haven't you seen Lex Friedman wearing North Korean military uniform with his friend, co-host? I think it's a friend. We play around over here, man. We want to look back and remember how we were when we are much older. So we're playing with ourselves and dressing ourselves so we can laugh in the future. We're building memories for the future. But you say there's something malicious about it. You say that he's trying to look smart and he's not. Oh, Ronaldo.
It looks like it's always the same color t-shirt with the same color tie, and then the lab coat, and then the background of, like he's a scientist. I mean, this is how he's trying to fool you. He's trying to fool you by going, hey, look, no, I'm in a lab and I'm wearing a lab coat. You need to trust what I say because I'm knowledgeable. That is the first sort of rule within grifting, is fool people to allow them to think that you're intelligent. And as I've stated, the one thing that Jamie Mighty should be good at is political commentary, because that is what he proclaims that he's good at, right? But if you look at the election results and how wrong he was, being 5 to 10 to 15 percentage points out just on the top 4 parties, you need to be blind and deaf to not even get into the realm of what the election results actually were. In the last election results, I was out by 2 percentage points, and the election before that, I was out by 4 percentage points.
Hey, yo, this wrong guessing, false prophecies, polling, numbers, speculating, horse racing, horse betting, that happens during the election. Bro, it's something that I know very well in the Christian space, where a lot of YouTubers who say that they are prophetic, prophets, or have the prophetic gift, they'll say that somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna win, or they'll make predictions for the new year, So I've seen now YouTubers who, after an election or after a certain result, who look back and say, here was the prophecy, we are at the date now, or we've passed the date, this has not happened, stamp, false prophet. So, man, it happens everywhere. In the elections, political pundits, commentators, seems like they also get that fever when the time is right.
So, but that was for all the political parties. But yet, this guy is given a platform not only on prominent mainstream media outlets, but he's also invited to events like the inauguration of the president, the State of the Nation address. and then he gets to ask questions to politicians. Like, but he doesn't know the first thing about politics. Like, honestly, he is a grifter. A grifter that has made it this far. But your grifting only gets you so far. Now, let me just illustrate one very simplistic example of many. There are many examples of Mighty Jamie completely exposing how incompetent he is. But this is just, this one you have to ask yourself, is there ulterior motives here?
What?
So here he is on X, and he calls himself the Africa Research Desk. Okay, great. That's a great place to start.
Yeah, it's like the IRR, Institute of Race Relations. We go out with a thermometer and measure the racism. We go out with the ruler and we measure, we record results. We compile what our observations were and we come to a conclusion. Hey man, hey, the point you're making about Mighty Jamie. Man, can you create a brand? A smart brand. A brand of Albert Einstein who dissects politics and has a look at it under a microscope. Can that be his brand? Can't he choose to cosplay? Can he be a bit of a caricature? Small, a little bit? Man, Ronaldo, you're going too hard.
I'm watching this Tucker Carlson episode. Adams Root said the ANC website has documents on their website about Nelson Mandela and Umkhonto we Sizwe Operation Mayibuye, which have the slogan, "We shall attack the weak and run from the strong." He invites the audience to check the website. I have checked website and the documents on Operation Mayibuye, and there is no such document on the ANC website. So he was lying. Okay. So he calls himself the African Research Desk. Let me try. And I'm going to take attack the weak over here, like so. And I'm going to move it over to the ANC's website. I'm going to click the search function. I'm going to do attack the weak. Let's see. Rivonia Trial Operation Mayibuye. Right? So there we go. And let's search this document, attack the weak. There we go. Shamelessly attack the weak and shamelessly free from the strong. That took me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. And it is document found by the police at the vote.
It's happening.
It's got to do with this operation. What was it called? Operation. Where's the name of it now? I just said it when we went back here. Operation Mayibuye. Well, would you look at that? So
there it is.
The African Research Desk found it impossible to find what I found in literally 10 seconds. This is the level of investigating that is happening by Jamie Mighty, who calls himself the African Research Desk, and every day uploads a video about his opinion on South African politics. So the question I've got is, if this guy can't even do a basic search on the ANC's website, how much can you truly trust what he has to say? Then of course there's the question of who funds him. How does he manage to get to all of these addresses, the State of the Nation address, go to Johannesburg for the inauguration of the president? Not saying...
Isn't he registered as a journalist? Don't you go to the GCIS and say, yo, I got a platform, I'm independent media, I'm legit? Should it be damn near impossible? Isn't our country, our parliament accepting that there's a change and there's media that comes from YouTube and you ask them for a media press pass? I hope Mighty comes back and he slaps you with the truth and says, yo, you's a propagandist, you lying about access. I'm a black man and I can get it directly myself by sending an email. But let's keep listening to you, man.
Not saying he can't use his own money. Maybe he's very wealthy, but I'm just very suspicious by the way that he attacks the people that he attacks. Clearly, in my humble opinion, there is somebody or something behind this African research desk. The way in which he knew exactly where I was going to be at the airport and then accosted me tells me that there's something far more sinister at play here. But hey, listen. If you want to trust Jamie Mighty, aka the African Research Desk, to give you your information about South Africa, then just ask yourself the question, how is it possible that this African Research Desk can't even do a basic search? I'm not even talking about a Google search. I'm talking about copying a piece of text, taking it onto the ANC website and pasting it. That is the type of quality of individual that you are dealing with here. And now you can argue, is it because he literally is dumb, or is it because he's trying to hide things and he's playing according to an agenda? Either of these two things are terrible, but you'll have to ask him. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to smash that like button. Please be sure to subscribe, and if you are subscribed, hit that bell icon.
Yo, we out of here, man. That's Renaldo Gouws, man. Yo, Renaldo, say yes to DJ Sbu on the Hustler's Corner. He wants to arrange a debate, but I say it should not be a debate. I say go there and have bright side chat with some dudes. Go over there and let DJ Sbu organize Mighty to also be there. See, chill out and have a discussion, and let's see you there among black people. He ambushed you. He may come to say sorry on that day, but yo, make this dialogue possible, man. I'm gonna irritate you. I'm in a rush for this country to get fixed, and I think that people like you are a stumbling block. Though you have power, I feel sorry for the day the Lord comes and he says, I gave you so much talents. Where did you invest them? And your answer will say, I used the talents that you gave me to be a narrow agendist, to be a white guy and nothing else. From the cradle to the grave, I was white. I represented whiteness. What I can see in the mirror is what I worked for and put my talent behind. And the Lord is going to say, you never failed to change the dynamics in South Africa, the conversation. You never thought to change the paradigm. You never thought to step out and go to a black platform as an original thought of your own, to go and speak with other people. You just decided to sit there in your room there with constantly wearing a black shirt. I don't understand you and Penwell in these black shirts. I don't understand. Wear a white t-shirt or something sometimes, man. It's looking strange. Anyway, Renaldo, you have the power, bro. I don't know if it's me and my black mind and I'm over-exaggerating who you are and what you can do, or what powers you have. But I think that South Africa is a province, bro. South Africa is a province in the United States. This is such a small space. There aren't that many voices. You take up like 8% of the total market share, I believe. Maybe AfriForum has about 9% of the market share. And then I think the DA has about 60% of the market share. You get what I'm saying? You have a sizable little amount, and I shouldn't have made examples about the DA. I'm trying to make a comparison of market share for those who are in the media, those who control the minds of the white people. The political party is one of them, but in the media space, I believe you're influential enough, you're young enough, you're fresh enough, and you could put on a different swagger and go out to do something fresh and different and meaningful. You know that in South Africa we have these white radio stations and black radio stations. You remember when Motsweneng Saudi wanted you all to start playing Mandos and Brenda Fassi on your radio stations, and you wanted to make quotas. So that's South Africa, yo. There was a man who was the chief operating officer who came up with an idea to have the white people mix what they listen to. It's so that blacks can make some revenue from white radio stations, trying to integrate the society. That experiment failed dismally. And so, Ronaldo, have you not thought to influence a people differently, man? Dedicate your life to something extremely beautiful. You have the power. If I had your platform, this South Africa would be dancing. If I had a platform as large as yours and I had views like you, hey, yo would be dancing, my brother. Have you ever watched YouTubers like Gideon the comedian? Have you ever watched Nico or Milana? Have you ever seen those? You ever seen the kind of pranks they pull? You ever seen how they are loved by everyone? How mobile they are? You know, I remember when Gideon did a prank at Wimbledon, the US Open, and he had an air horn, so he came there to be ghetto.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about! That's what I'm talking about!
When the game's going on.
Oh, I thought it was like over.
When he's actually playing, if you could just refrain from waving your arms.
I'm from America. I'm a big football fan, so like we yell, you
I
know.
understand that, yeah.
But afterwards, I can blow my air horn.
People will get upset.
I just got too excited. Like in football, they do something like that, we're going crazy.
I'll tell you what.
Let me know when I can do it again.
He came there to be ghetto and to make people angry. And hey, it's so cringe being a black guy, watching a black guy do that at white events, because you know. So, bro, all I'm saying, and the views are mad, like millions. So, I thought that you'd be a guy with some swagger, man, who will venture out, do something different, but seeing that that's not you. If I had 145,000 subscribers like you do, man, I would be going nuts out here, getting South Africa talking about race relations. I'd be hlogolozing the white people in the ears, tickling, you know. Yeah, not being irritating and violent, but provoking slightly with a bit of humor, laughing as we go along. There wouldn't be such tensions in South Africa. So the Lord is going to ask you, Ronaldo, with the gift that I gave you, did you make people unite? Or did you look in the mirror, see who you are, and serve that only? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ronaldo, say yes to the invite. And Mighty Jamie, maybe you need to apologize to Ronaldo or something like that. I'll see you next time.